So just on a little bit different note, so right now you're also working as a independent agent with New York Life.
Yes.
And you're into wealth management and tax-free investment strategy. So
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about sort of why, I know you're an independent agent, so you're still somewhat of an entrepreneur.
Somewhat? You mean completely?
Completely an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But you're selling somebody else's stuff versus creating or selling your own stuff. So can you tell me sort of what your mindset was or the strategy going into that, into working with an organization like that,
Sure.
and how that plays into your bigger picture of Jamarr's sort of life?
Gotcha. So, all right. So first thing, Gary Vaynerchuk, his first business was a wine, his father's wine store.
Wine library, yeah.
Right? And he sold wine. He didn't make all that wine himself, but he sold someone else's stuff.
That's true.
Didn't mean he wasn't an entrepreneur.
Right.
So, that's
right.
It needs to be a very clear distinction because as a New York Life agent, I am building my own practice, the same way a doctor, right, who doesn't make all the instruments himself and
you're not an employee. You're still an entrepreneur.
I'm not an employee. Exactly.
Self-employed.
Yeah, and so the reason why I did some extensive research over the last year and a half into the industry that I thought would give me the most flexibility with the maximum amount of income.
Oh, okay.
And so looking at it and looking at what the products and services offer to people is that they offer people aid in a time of need. I don't know about you, but I lost my father young. He was murdered, actually, when I was 11 years old. And he didn't have any life insurance. So think about that impact on his lifetime earnings on my life.
Yes.
As a young adult growing up in New York City. It was very difficult. So pluses and minuses from that. Some of the pluses were that I had to learn to hustle, and I had to learn to work at an early age. So I was working at the age of 12 under the table, packing groceries at a local supermarket. And so that's when my hustler's journey sort of began. So fast forwarding now, almost 20 years later, the reason why I decided to get with New York Life is because as a partner in my practice, I felt like they were able to offer me some of the best incentives, the best training, the best connections, and the best products and services that I would be able to go out into the marketplace and offer tremendous value to people who were unaware of it. Because the problem that almost every business faces is exposure, right? It's marketing. So they're willing to give a significant portion of what they would make normally to an independent agent because it offsets the cost that they would have to spend on commercials, right? There's a reason why Aflac is running commercials during the Super Bowl and on Monday Night Football. It's because they need constant awareness because what they're offering their independent agents isn't enough to get them motivated enough to do what they need to do to get the brand out there. So I have a managing partner who does about $3.5 million a year. He's in his early 60s. He's looking to retire in the next 5 years. And, I'm basically a managing partner in training. So with that being said, comedy is a passion of mine. But I think that every smart entrepreneur, every smart multimillionaire has multiple streams of income.
Yes.
And so if you can inform yourself, and if you think about the activity that an insurance agent does, an insurance agent has breakfast, lunch, and dinner with potential clients. You get to know people, and you get to find solutions for them. Yeah. So if you think about that type of lifestyle, it helps me to also find clients who want to be coached in comedy, and it makes me available. So when I get an offer to go down and do a music festival in San Diego for $700 for essentially 30 minutes worth of work, I can take that and do that passion because I have the flexibility in my schedule. So that's the reason why I decided to join forces with an amazing company that has been around for 170 years, has $23 billion in surplus, which means if every single life policy, term, whole life, annuity, if everything were paid out tomorrow, they would still have $23 billion left. And they are a private company that reports like they were a public company because they have nothing to hide and everything to gain by people realizing how strong we are as a team.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, when we were off camera, you told me about sort of a 2-year play. One of the reasons why you joined us, you had a 2-year play for sort of
Don't
a
want
goal
to
that you
don't
had.
want to yet reveal that for the public.
What's
So
that?
let's keep that 2-year play to ourselves because I don't want to reveal that to
Okay.
the
Uh-oh.
public
I just
yet.
opened a can of whoop.
Oh, you didn't open it yet. I caught you before you did.
Okay. So, what can you
But
tell?
yeah, what I can tell you is that let's look at the model. Let's look at Kevin Hart. You know who Kevin Hart
Yes,
is?
I think I know
Kevin
who
Hart
Kevin Hart
is the biggest little comedian that has ever lived right now, financially. He owns everything from his production company to his multimedia social media company and marketing company, to obviously his copyrighted material as a comedian.
Right.
So the way he was able to do that, and I was able to get some inside baseball on that and see how he began to build, is through funding things himself. So you can partner up or try to go be an employee on a project, or you can own the project and hire other people to partner up with you. The person who has ownership has the rights to the royalties, has the rights to the residuals. So I'm using my insurance practice to help me fund my other endeavors, one of which would be real estate, acquiring real estate on many different levels.
Excellent. Excellent. That's a good play. Yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot of, that's very entrepreneurial, and a lot of the wealthiest people in the world, as you know, all have real estate in their portfolios.
Absolutely.
And a large amount of real estate, but definitely having the control over your own destiny, having the ability to actually make the residuals, to make the royalties is definitely key. Giving away that control. I've done that too much in the last few years, and basically I've lost all the income that I would have gained over the last 2 years in real estate. I gave away control to other people, and basically I've not received any income from my real estate ventures in the last 2 years. And so, giving away that control, it was a hard lesson for me to learn. I should have known better because I've had previous negative experiences with partners and entering into a new one. So, definitely it's definitely what you want to do is if you at all have the ability to do it, I think you're going down the right path, Jamarr. I think using this to generate the money that you need to build the foundation of the different types of businesses that you're going to venture into so that you have the ownership or the control.
Yes.
For our sort of mindset, it's not about the ownership, it's about control. Because technically you never want to own, as an individual, you never want to own anything. Your corporations and your trusts want to own it all. You just want to be able to control all that stuff and reap the benefits from it, but actually not have your name tied to anything, because you know what? They can't sue a broke person.
Yep.
So if you're broke, they can never sue you. So that's definitely some great thinking. So what's in store for Jamarr over the next, say, 2 to 5 years? What do you see? What are some of your goals that you can share with us publicly?
Yeah. So I mean, some of the goals. So the goals are to kind of be on more stages, some of which I may be in control of. The goals are to add value in the marketplace, build my insurance practice to a point where I'm able to help enough people so that my revenue after expenses should be a little over that $1 million mark, so I could be a $1 million roundtable player. It'll also be to have a produced work. Later this month, I'm recording a CD that will be released on iTunes and Spotify. That will be clearing out some of the content over the 10 years that I've used and kind of putting it to rest and moving on to a new transition with what I want to do. And it'll just be helping people, just giving value. I mentioned to you earlier that my book of the year was The Go-Giver, and I've synthesized those philosophies into my life and think about them daily. The 5 principles are, I've synthesized them to an acronym I call OD4R. Always over-deliver the value which you receive in price. That will create 2 basic side effects. 1, raging fans, so people who are out there advocating on your behalf and on your abilities. 2, real impact. Real impact is more than just telling somebody nice shoes. Real impact is telling someone nice shoes and then helping them maintain those nice shoes so that they can keep moving and stepping in the direction that they need to step into so that they can impact people. And when you are able to help someone have impact in other people's lives, they never forget you. And then, because I remember performing a show a few years ago in San Francisco, and just a 10-minute set. But a woman came up to me. She was a little intoxicated, but she was almost in tears because she had just attended court earlier that day for something that happened, and she was in really bad spirits. And for 10 minutes, she said she was able to forget about all of her troubles. Nice. So the power of comedy is really, really important and powerful. And so after you have real impact on people, you have to remain authentic. Remain the real person who you are. Be honest about who you are at all times so that you can attract that true 1,000 fans. That's all you really need to survive as an artist. It's 1,000 fans. There's an awesome blog that you should Google called the 1,000 Fan Model. I think it came out in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, where he broke down how 1,000 true fans can really impact an artist's life. And then the last thing, when I breaking down the book, The Go-Giver, is that be ready to receive. A lot of people are not ready to receive what's going to come their way. But I've been putting out a lot of energy out there for a long time. Not all of it positive energy. Sometimes I made missteps. Sometimes I put out negative energy. I hurt people's feelings, and I've tried to make amends as much as I could. But overall, be ready to receive the energy that you put out is going to come back to you many, many times greater, because those are the laws of the universe.
That's right. So
expect big things, expect exciting things, expect really big impact, and a lot of fun along the way. That's the most important thing to me. Having fun. I love to learn, I love to laugh, and I love to love.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Jamarr, we're going to thank you very much for being on the show. So everyone show Jamarr some love by hitting the like button, the love button, and definitely be sure to share this video with your friends so they can watch it later. Any associates, maybe share it on your business page. Again, Jamarr, it's been such a pleasure having you on the show, and I definitely look forward to catching up with you again next time I hit down to LA. Oh, are you still doing the Airbnb just for my future?
You know what? I do it every once in a while when I'm actually going to be out of town. I don't do the arrangement that we had before, just because I'm just I've got so much work to do at home. I get to work from home now.
Yeah.
I have an office as well, but I like to do both. So it just depends on the right situation. Sometimes people reach out to me, and their offer is so sweet I can't refuse it. But it's been a good experience.
Definitely. So what I'll do is after the show is over, I'll put all of Jamarr's contact information and the links that we talked about below. And so definitely head over, connect with Jamarr, follow him on social media. All the links will be below after the end of the show. But Jamarr, thank you very much for being on the show. And everyone just stick with me. I'm just going to do a quick transition, and I'll be right back. All right, so welcome back. I hope you guys really enjoyed the show with our guest, Jamarr John Johnson. He's a really genuine, authentic, nice guy who has definitely drive and passion and the hustle that all entrepreneurs should aspire to have. He'll definitely achieve whatever goals he has set out for himself. I truly believe that. I look forward to not only following Jamarr on his journey, but hopefully just being one helpful piece in the Jamarr Johnson story of success if I can. If he reaches out to me, I'm definitely going to be there to help him along his way. Just being the best isn't enough in today's world if no one really knows who you are. If you want to gain exposure for your business, your brand, your product or service, then you need to employ some authority acceleration strategies that will really help you get to where you want to be and attract an abundance of paying customers. And I've created a simple formula that I talked about a little bit earlier that you can implement into your business to help you get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime in 100 days or less. And it's what I call my authority acceleration formula, and it goes like this. It's the 1-10-100 model. 1 hour of content per week minimum. Distribute that for 10 hours per week and do that for 100 days straight. So I'll repeat that. For every 1 hour of content you create, spend 10 hours distributing that content and engaging with other people on social platforms, and do that for 100 days consistently, persistently, and you will accelerate your authority in whatever marketplace to whatever audience that you're reaching out to. So for more information about the authority acceleration formula or how I can help you implement that, then into your business, then send me a message or email me at john@johnamccabe.com. With that, I want to thank you for being on today's show, and hope you'll join me on tomorrow as we have our hot seat coaching session where I help one individual with growing or accelerating their business. So until tomorrow, this is John A. McCabe wishing you an amazing day.